Greetings, hunters! Welcome to another episode of the Soulsborne Roundtable. Or the Souls Roundtable, sorry for butchering that. But anyway, you should know me. I'm the Old Hunter, and I do reviews on my channel.
The Knight of Green, Soulsborne martial arts expert and dinosaur fanatic.
Hey, as you go by Toli Vinland, I do music and art and whatnot. And it seems like I'm instantly going to be the editor of the podcast from here on out, hopefully.
I'm always happy for more people on board. So, well, sorry about last week, guys. I wasn't in particular mood to start the podcast, but unfortunately, Trooper wasn't in a mood today, so he won't be joining us. Sad, but that's how it is. But I hope he enjoys the show afterwards. Mm-hmm. We've seen the Demon Souls remake. First, let's just start off with the basics. Demon Souls. It came out. It's finally out. Come on, let's talk about it. Man, can you imagine it? Thinking that it took forever to get a Demon Souls remake.
It's 11 years now, yeah?
Yeah, it's been 11 years. And, honestly, I prefer it was released on PS5 versus PS4, because I feel like PS5 can capture a lot of the atmosphere better.
True.
Imagine having the same load times on PS4 with it just upscaled a bit. I don't think it would have sold as much as it's doing now. The big thing is exposure, because it's a PS5 launch title, and it's the only one that is PS5 exclusive. It's definitely getting a lot of exposure, more so than it did 11 years ago, back when everyone basically crapped on it and said it was a worthless game.
I really wish... Well, we can look at foresight of how we are today as a group, that we just basically look at it and think, hey, Demon Souls is a classic, and it was innovative of its time, and is still innovative, even compared to its Souls contemporaries.
And see, that's the thing that's so funny. Is like, even though I make fun of people who call Demon Souls crap, I remember when I was 11 years ago, almost 26. So I was like about 15 years old when I played Demon Souls first, and when I originally played it, I thought it was crap. But then I thought to myself, you know what? I don't want this game to get the better of me, so I'm gonna beat it. And then about 40 hours later. And I'm sitting here at the end credit scene, and I'm just bawling my. I'm like, that was so amazing. I have never played a game this amazing. I grew up with I feel like that was when it was 2000, late 2000s. I feel like games were becoming very handholdy and very sort of casualized. Mm-hmm. And Demon Souls was a wake up call to me, because before I got the PS3, when I was really younger, when I was 10, around 5 to 10, I always played Super Nintendo games like Contra and stuff, so I was used to that hardcore brutal difficulty type of game. And then the early 2000s happened, games got casual, so I kind of lost my edge in super hardcore games. And then Demon Souls come out and remind me that, wait a minute, I like playing hardcore games. Apparently if I had enough patience as a 9-year-old to play Contra, then I can have enough patience to play this game.
Sadly, I never did play Demon Souls when it came out. I didn't get a PS3 until a year after it came out, so I missed the title. And if I got it, I would have probably thought it was just a horrible game if I played it when I was younger. But now, in the hindsight of liking the Souls series, I'm kind of regretted that.
And that's the double-edged sword with it. Is that like you're saying? It's one of those titles that most people wouldn't really pick up if it wasn't for the success of its sequel games, essentially. Well,
the spiritual successors, Dark Souls,
spiritual successor games, yeah.
Dark Souls, the Bloodborne, Sekiro. Actually, we can I find it interesting. Let's compare Demon Souls to Bloodborne for a second. One title was originally a launch title for the not a launch title, but an exclusive title for the PS3. And it sold horribly when it first came out. Then, just a generation after, Bloodborne came out, and it sold consoles. Let's be honest, Bloodborne sold the PS4.
It did. And that's the thing. I think Bloodborne had Dark Souls to thank for that, because Dark Souls 1 and 2 sort of carried them into like, oh, this is made by the same people? Okay.
Well, almost, because Dark Souls 2 was created by Miyazaki's evil twin, not Miyazaki himself. So I'm a little bit iffy of saying that Dark Souls 2 was even helping that.
If it counts. Does it even count? See, no, the only reason why I say Dark Souls 2 counts is because Miyazaki, like, put in, like, the Fume Ultra Greatsword and, like, other Dark Souls 2 weapons and stuff in 3. I'm like, if you had removed those completely Miyazaki, then we could say it's the complete. But it's like, no, we like Fume Ultra Greatsword.
Okay, maybe one or two things in there, but honestly, let's be honest. Dark Souls 3 feels more like Dark Souls 1 than does it Dark Souls 2.
Oh, no, we all agree with that.
And it's... Well, we're going to get some Dark Souls 2 haters in the comments probably saying, oh, you just hate it because it's the bad one. Well, just to point it out, guys, it is a bad game. If it was named anything else, I guarantee you it wouldn't even turn any heads. It would have just been a thought of a mediocre cash grab of the Souls series. But because it has the Souls name in it, I hate the fact I don't like it. That's my main problem. I hate the fact I don't like Dark Souls 2. I love Dark Souls 1. I don't like Dark Souls 2. Do you see my conundrum here?
I just like power stancing and like 3 bosses in Dark Souls 2, like Alon and like Fume Knight, the old Ivory King, and that's about the end of the boss list I can name that I enjoy.
Can you think of anything you like about Dark Souls 2? Gloomy, yeah. Gloomy.
But did you hear me? Say gloomy.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I was about to say.
Oh, I was just kind of sitting here like awkwardly, like, oh, I instantly love Dark Souls 2. It's honestly my favorite out of the trilogy.
If it's your favorite, that's understandable. But understandable if you enjoy it. If you enjoy it, that's fine. I'm not gonna. We can admit that it's not the best game in the series. Can we admit that? Can we just agree that it's not?
Definitely.
Okay.
No, I would not say it's better than either of its contemporaries. It definitely needed a lot of work, and I mean, I attribute how bad it is. Like, I'm not saying it's fantastic best game. It's just I personally like it because of a lot of the content that was there.
Fair enough.
Yes.
It was just really fresh.
Okay, it was fresh,
honestly.
like power stances, a lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of things in 2 were, I will admit that with all the flaws that 2 has, I do like a few of the aspects. Like I liked the improved cloth physics for one. It was better than that. I did enjoy power stance. It was really cool. Yeah. It was a nice fresh. And I did like wasn't it 2 that introduced omnidirectional rolling?
I believe so.
Yeah,
2 was the first one to have it.
Okay, and then I'll agree with that. It was also good that it introduced omnidirectional moving because, let's face it, 4-directional moving just limits it. And there are some aspects where I like to dodge diagonally, not forward, at times without fighting a boss.
Yeah.
By the way, Gloomy, feel free to chime in anything. This is just an open chat for a little bit.
Gotcha.
One thing I would say about Dark Souls 2 is that, maybe this is just me, but I feel like when playing Dark Souls 2, I feel like not all of the concepts were fully realized or they had enough time to make it as good as they, because, all the areas in Dark Souls 2, realistically, No Man's Wharf, legitimately just a pirate alcove
city
where they store in their that's... I don't really see that has been done. I feel like a lot of the individual areas, if they were fleshed out more, then I would have actually thoroughly enjoyed it. But I would say the reason why I think the DLCs are the best is I feel like they fully realize the DLC areas, and I feel that's why the DLC areas just feel like personally, Dark Souls 2 DLC is some of my favorite content, DLC content underneath because Bloodborne's Old Hunters DLC is just phenomenal.
Top tier DLC. We can all agree that, right, guys?
DLC.
Can we agree that the old Hunter DLC is the best DLC? I'll admit that.
I can't. Like I said, there's nothing that I would say. I would put Dark Souls 2 DLC out of all the experience. I'll put it Bloodborne DLC is way above. Then I'll put Dark Souls 2 and 3 are about the same because 2 has more areas, more bosses, but 3, the bosses like Gale and Midir were definitely top-notch
Freya. Frida.
And Freya. Oh, I mean, backstab. I mean, I just...
Frida, not Freya. She's not the Norse goddess. She's a Frida. I get too confused.
I'm sorry. I don't really enjoy her because I just backstab her to death, like, chain text.
And then again, I'm mixed with her. I like her design, and I love her boss fight, but she's also her speed is Lady Maria's speed. And when you're fighting in Dark Souls 3 speed, yeah, it's gonna be difficult to land hits. And even I can dodge her very reliably most of the time, but it's just trying to get the hits after the dodge is always the impossible part. Because she moves too fast.
That's the thing that I felt too. And like you can chime in if you feel this as well. But I feel like Dark Souls 3, I feel like the enemies are behaving on Bloodborne levels of speed, but the player character is like playing on Dark Souls 1 speed.
Well, like I don't think so. I feel like it's a little bit fast. It's not as
a little bit faster, but like I can sit here and swing my straight sword at an enemy, and I'm already like 50% through the animation, and they just backhand swing me and instantly knock me out. I'm like, hold up.
I don't know if I got that. I don't know. Gloomy, any thoughts?
On like the DLCs and whatnot?
Oh yeah, feel free to.
In regards to Dark Souls 2, when you look at the development cycle it had, it actually makes a lot of sense that it's not as polished until you get to the DLC areas, because the people that were making it, they had to switch the lead producer, lead
programmer, and this director to Bloodborne.
Yeah, they switched mid-development, and then halfway through making the game, they had something all right going. And then the top dogs told them to completely start over. And they had, as opposed to this much time to develop the game, they only had this much to crunch out whatever they could with what they had left. Mm-hmm. They just had to rework the whole thing like on the last minute.
If you watched, do you know a guy named Senadis K?
Yeah, I watch a lot of his content.
Yeah, he did notice that in the files of the Dark Souls 2 game, there were a lot of cut contents because it was not this, like, you were supposed to meet the Emerald Herald when she was a child. It was more to do about time travel and affecting the world, all those sorts of things, except now we have, it's just, instead of Dark Souls 2, it's just basically, how do I put it? I would say it rehashes a little bit too much of the original. The themes are still great about how that the events of Dark Souls 1 didn't matter to Dark Souls 2, and the fact that yes, King Alon, what was that King? Was it King? What was that? No, not in Dark Souls 2. The king, the one that
Vendrick.
Vendrick, yes, that was the one. Vendrick actually inherited Gwyn's world. Blah 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 blah. It was a nice theme, but I feel like it also repeated a bit too much. If you know what, if you catch my drift, like.
It's funny because like that's not something you like to see in a game series. You don't like to see like repetition. I feel like Dark Souls falls into that a lot.
Yeah, because
it has like that lore excuse where it's like all of the cycles repeating the world, rehashing itself. I feel like that's a cop out.
But I can just gladly say that Dark Souls 3 cut that for good. Like Dark Souls 3 lasted the series. The true ending is basically the Firekeeper takes the fire and ends the Age of Fire. That is the true. Well, the guides do say that's the official canon ending. And
so the whole Gale thing with the painting, is that just like a sub ending?
I think it was more to connect. It was more to be more thematical in the sense that yes, this world is dying, this world is done for, but the painter will take the painter as Miyazaki and us as the people. We will be moving on to the next game, which happened to be Sekiro. The game that continued, the new world was Sekiro. The painter was Miyazaki, and everyone, all of us, were.
No, it makes so much sense now because Miyazaki has a foot fetish and the painter has no shoes. It makes sense.
The Actions DLC was just Miyazaki's headcanon.
Yeah,
the higher ups didn't want to do it.
It was more of I think it was more of a poetic way of ending the series in the DLC, in the sense that, yeah, like I said, I'm repeating myself now, but this is the end. But through the ashes of the old world, a new one will rise. The theme that is very common.
Personally, I feel like Dark Souls 2 and 3 didn't need to exist. I feel like Dark Souls 1 stands up on its own. And then if they had went in a different direction, don't call it Dark Souls 2 and 3. Call it something else. You may have, like you know how you have like the Moonlight Sword and like some of the overlapping weapons, but like have different worlds. So I feel like you can hate on them less because like, oh, this is continuation. But it's like Demon Souls and Dark Souls. Okay, there have a lot of overlaps in mechanics and similarities, but because they're two different things, they can be judged separately as individuals more so. Yeah, versus like, oh, well, we got to go through Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 and judge all of them. So, and that's the thing. I feel like From Software does that better. Like Bloodborne borrows a lot from Dark Souls and Demon Souls, but it's its own entity.
Yeah, it's its own entity. It doesn't. Let's be honest. Not every single, but most From have more like patches. Let's face it, Hito. The Moonlight Greatsword, minus that was obviously out of Sekiro, but I think the Divine Dragon's sword could be a reference if you squint a little bit.
7 branch swords, the closest we got.
Yeah, that's the closest we got to a Moonlight Greatsword in Sekiro. We can't, but we'll see what. But moving on, Elden Ring. Yes. Oh, but actually, no. Before we go to Elden Ring, I wanted to just rant on this one little problem that still bugs me even after Demon Souls released, and the fact is that all of the DLC weapons were only for the Digital Deluxe Edition. It frustrates me to no end.
Oh, we all look, and that's the thing. Let me tell you, like the multiple facets on why this frustrates me. One, you hate to see it because no other FromSoft game or FromSoft-esque game, like even Dark Souls 2, yeah, it had DLC weapons if you pre-order, but you can get them in the game at some point. So, you know, you can still get them.
Scummy. But let's be, that was still a bit scummy. You're basically just paying to get more good content early. Let's agree to that.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not scummy. I'm not saying it isn't scummy.
I'm just
saying, but at least the caveat to all of it is you can still get it even if you didn't pre-order it. And this, like, let me tell you the big issues why. Like, not only is it like this feels really, really scummy on that end, but also it's one of those things like I pre-ordered it just to get, and I'm sitting here like, well, I hate that I have to do it, but I don't want to miss because I don't know if they're gonna. Because I didn't know if they're gonna give him like new movesets. Like, what if they gave him like complete like a whole Reaper moveset or a whole Cleaver? Like I thought I didn't think that they were going to. That's the thing. I didn't want to pre-order it because I was like, well, maybe they'll patch it in. But then I was like, what if they don't? And that's the thing.
I can.
Oh, they're gonna give them unique moves. Not be paid. Oh my goodness! Should have went with my gut there. But I can't even play it, so
I can't. And same as me, I can't order a PS5 when it first came out so I missed out the content. I think Bluepoint was very aware of this, and you know what they did with those DLC weapons?
Oh, the fact that they made them, you can't upgrade them, so they're crap after like the first level.
Yeah, they knew that. I don't care. I don't care that they did that. It's still the principle of the fact that this is Demon Souls. And the item should have been there from the start, not bonus DLCs. Ugh.
Look, I'm more upset about the armor now because the Red Knight armor was one of the when I played Demon Souls when I was like a teenager, I was like, oh my gosh, I want that armor of those Spear Knight dudes that keep on shish kebabbing me. And then when you're like, when you farm them hundreds of times, like, where are they dropping their armor?
They don't.
You look up, it doesn't exist. And then now they're like.
Well, you can get the Blue Knight armor set if you want a consolation price.
But they don't. Yeah. They weren't shish kebabbing me as much as the Red Knight.
Yeah.
Just imagine they have red eyes. Sorry, go on.
At least with the armor set, the only thing you're really paying exclusively for is the red helmet, because from the neck down, it's the same as the Blue-Eyed Knight.
It's the Blue-Eyed, yeah.
It's still the of the thing.
It's still the principles of all this. I would expect something like this from EA, not Bluepoint or Sony, but EA.
Bluepoint working with on a FromSoft game that people have that has no DLC like this.
Well, then why not? Then you know what they could have done? Collaborate with Miyazaki, with From Software, and complete the 6 Archstone. Simple as that. That would have,
you could sell that thing for $30 or more. People would buy it without hesitation.
I would have bought it for $30 if I could. But nope.
Heck, I don't. Well, I would. I undoubtedly I'd pay $30 for it. But I was about to say like, well, heck, I would pay $60, a whole new game basically. But then I was gonna take it back and was like, no, I wouldn't pay that much. But it's still, I would pay up to about 30 for that.
I would pay $30 for the whole Archstone because it was cut. I know Blue Point said they didn't remake the area because they were respecting the original. But in a remake, you can take new ideas, right? I don't know.
Or just call Miyazaki and say, hey, what would you do here? We're gonna do this. What would you do? And then just be like, okay, he greenlit it, so it was Miyazaki. Fine. So
hey, I feel like. Okay, from what I understand from the reviews, Demon's Souls remake is fantastic. It's probably one of the best remakes that Blue Point's ever made from a cult classic that very few people played. We can all agree that it looks fantastic. It plays fantastic. Well, it's still Demon's Souls, but it should play fantastic. And heck, it's got multiplayer again.
I managed to secure a PS5 and Demon's Souls, and I finished my first playthrough the other day, and I can confirm it is fantastic. I think they did the best that they could have within the parameters that they were sticking to, and they did keep. They weren't lying. They kept the the cadence of all the combat and whatnot the same, while making it still feel like a new experience.
I feel like they should have just taken more from its later sequels like Dark Souls 3 and up from Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 with more faster rolling. Speed up the enemies a little bit, but then again, you would have lost the feeling of the original Demon's Souls. And I've been replaying Demon's Souls on my PS3, and I can confirm out of the older ones, it still feels the clunkiest of all the Souls series. And that's my personal opinion.
Definitely because it doesn't have omnidirectional rolling, so you feel it in your. See, that's the thing. I play Demon's Souls locked off because I learned at a very young age when I played Demon's Souls locked on is like absolute garbage because like the 4 directional rolls is absolute like flame lurker, right? Oh, let me roll diagonally, rolls rolls like horizontal to him, palm strikes you die. I'm like, this is dumb. But yeah. One thing that I'll say from watching the Demon's Souls remake when Vinland was playing, as someone who's like, platinumed and played the original Demon's Souls for over 200 hours, like look, PvP. Even though PvP is definitely like not like the highlight of that game, you can like once you get over like some of the crap and just deal with it. That's the thing.
Speaking of which, the PvP, is it as bad as the original?
Oh, absolutely. Like a lot of the same bugs and exploits you can do in PvP are still there. So
I thought
that's the thing I was about to say.
I get it preserving the original, but when you're trying to remake the game, the idea is to patch out the bugs.
Yeah, you can still iframe backstabs. You can still toggle stake. There's still infinite combos. There's still the glitch where if you headbutt somebody, if you buff a fist weapon, it does damage, so you can just wombo combo them to death, and they can't do anything if they don't know what to talk. Yeah, I'm like, it's one of those things where it's like, wow, they remade this clunky piece of crap, and that's a good thing, but it's still the same clunky piece of crap.
They should have fixed they should have just patched the issues out, and hold on. Don't tell me you can still be a multi-build pretty easily in the game.
Oh, yeah, no, it's still pretty easy to do all that.
No,
and
perfect.
the thing that makes me mad is that they added a few new items, but one of the new items they added, the luck coin, the fact that you could break the coin and level up luck to like infinity. And they said we were worried about breaking the experience by adding new stuff. One of the few things they added breaks the experience. I love that so much.
They should really patch that out. In fact, here's a quote. Blue Point, if you're watching this, and I highly doubt that, patch the bugs out that make the game clunky. Yes, they were in the original, but you don't have to make everything like the original. This is the point where you fix the issues from the original.
But now we got new issues like infinite luck from the new objects. So I mean,
I'm glad I managed to pull that glitch off on my character before.
I saw the tweet.
Before today.
I saw you managed to do 10K.
Because just before I hopped on, I had my girlfriend's playing on my PS5 right now, and when I turned it on, it told me that Demon's Souls was getting a patch. So they probably just patched that if that's what they were doing with that. So
who knows?
Do you think your stats will
in
still
time.
stay like 10 billion luck, or do you think they're gonna downscale that? How do you think that's gonna work?
If they're gonna, I hope they're gonna fix that issue, because if it's gonna be the fact that these characters still got 10 billion luck, then no offense.
Well, I feel like it's something that they wouldn't necessarily need to patch out for like PvP reasons, because the glitch will actually like break your soul level and jack it up to 999. So you're not going to be doing any PvP anyways. So
except with other people who did the exploit, and you all one-shot each other.
But I mean, good luck finding the 3 other people that did it.
Good luck indeed.
The 5 people that have the game
in play. You mean with 999? You mean 999 in the game?
Yeah, it just maxes it out because it creates a stack overflow in the menu and completely destroys it.
I have played Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, and Dark Souls 1, for countless hours, but I've never, ever gotten my characters to the max level.
I did it in 15 minutes.
I played, and I've never done it, so you're the Souls master.
Is that with Demon Souls, like the max level wasn't even like 999 anyway. So the fact that he actually busted the max level cap with this glitch is hilarious.
Didn't they also do that item? Didn't they keep that item duplication glitch from the original game?
No, I thought they were going
to. Sadly.
Oh, but
if you have infinite luck, you can just walk up to anything that drops the rare thing and just farm like all the pure blade stones.
I feel sorry for the players that have to farm the pure blade stones. Oh, good.
Oh no! Look,
they fixed the drop rate numbers for that, but they they patched out the easy dupe glitch, but you can still do the one that requires a friend online.
The online like weapon or items glitch, where if you hold the menu open and just quit out the game, that one.
No, they left in one where you can drop friendly phantom items, close the game, and then reload the save that has the items through the cloud storage system. You reload that, and then the items are duped.
Oh, the same thing they did with Dark Souls. Like you could do that in Dark Souls too. That's what like everybody did then to make easy builds.
Yeah, but they patched out the one where you can like walk from Baldwin to Thomas.
And dupe like 99 like Dark Moongrass and just be like strapped for life.
You can't get 99. You can get 50 in the game, but that's still quite a lot.
Not Dark Moon. They put a cap on.
So they didn't just weight capped it. They also number capped it.
Oh my god!
The Crescent Moon is a 50 cap, and then each one progressively gets smaller to where I think the Dark Grass you have like a 10 cap, I believe. I didn't get a lot of it, so I never tested it.
What's the point of the weight change then if you're going to have a physical cap?
Yeah, I think they wait with that. I think the Dark Moon Grass is like 10 pounds now. It's insane.
I honestly think they should have just got rid of the whole carrying weight system. I know it was in the original, but this is the point where you remove stuff that didn't work.
That's why they added the send item to storage. I feel like that's the concession they made for that point. It's like, well, we don't want people to lose like their.
I see that as like instead of them trying to like gouge out a system that's like deep rooted in the game and possibly break it really badly, they just put in one button and saved the whole thing. It's just when you pick up an item and you can't carry it, you send it to storage. And you can send items to storage directly in your menu, so you can make room for that item if you want, just on the fly.
So basically, I would have just gone the whole way of just saying remove the damn weight system and just let the player carry as many items he wants. It worked then again. It worked in Bloodborne, but then again, the systems are different enough.
Yeah.
Well, the difference is with Bloodborne, like the amount of stuff that you realistically would be carrying is not even all that much. Demon Souls, like think about it. Imagine if Demon Souls, right? You were like PvPing and there's no weight limit, and they didn't cap the grass, and you legitimately just had all the grasses, and someone had a scraping spear. Oh, I got all the armor, so let me just switch to all my armors. If I break it's going to be nonsense.
Maybe that's just me. I'm I'm still looking forward to playing Demon Souls online. This will be a fun experience. Like your keyboard, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I just programmed it to do the rainbow because I was messing around with all sorts of different things, and I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna settle on this because I don't feel like doing anything else.
Sadly, my old laptop is just a simple gaming laptop.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Say before. I was supposed to say. I was about to ask Vinland. Did you get like with the max luck or like high luck? Did you like get like all like the rare drops and weapons and stuff? So like you just drop it off to me because I don't feel like farming for it.
What's that?
I did it once 10 years ago. I'm not doing it again.
He basically asked you if you could give some of the items that you farmed to him. I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, for sure. I did New Game Plus, but I sat and I grinded out a bunch of this stuff. I got as much as I need for like a full playthrough of just any material I need, because it's just you hit something with the glitch that I did and you get every item they could drop guaranteed every time. It's
oh god, they really needed to.
You don't have to worry about farming.
They really needed to fix that issue, and frankly, fix one issue, they create 10 more. That's good life for you.
So you're telling me that you hit a black skeleton with the twin katanas and he just instantly just drops a pure blade stone?
Oh yeah, over and over. It was.
Ain't that something?
For anybody, sorry.
In that instance, I could feel all of the people that played it originally and like farmed the heck out of that
getting angry,
feel them just crying.
I would.
Just a tear rolls down.
I would imagine they'd be very angry right now, thinking, I spent hours and hours and hours grinding for that stam stone, but this guy manages to get them every single time.
Try 2 weeks. I doubted that thing existed. I was like, this thing doesn't even exist, right? I was like, I've been fighting this dude 3 hours a day for 2 weeks straight. This thing doesn't exist. Wiki, you lie. You photoshopped this. This is not real. This thing's not real. And then when I got it, I was like, dupe glitch. Dupe. And I was like going to random people online. I was like, here you go. Be like, what's this? Thank me later. Then leave. I wouldn't even stay.
Yeah.
I would just...
Oh, man.
Trust me. Pure Bladestone. The fact, like, I'm glad when he said when I got it instantly, I could feel the screams of all the people who would farm like days, weeks just to get the dang thing. That drop weight is stupid. Like you'd get like black.
I would love to just like have as much of it as I could physically carry on my character, just to invade people and just toss it out like I'm some sort of philanthropist.
Actually, read some.
You get a plate stone.
I've actually seen so many stories of different people playing Demon Souls. It's a shame that I never got to, because I only got the game after the servers closed. So my experience playing the whole game was just basically limited to offline mode. I've enjoyed it, but it's sad I couldn't play online.
I managed to get. I'm in that same boat. I picked up a PS3 just to play Demon Souls, and I got it literally a month after the servers closed. I played through the whole game offline, and then once I had beaten the game, I found out that there was the fan server that you could connect to.
Fan server.
I went and did that, and there was not a lot of people on, so I ended up just
how'd you connect?
They announced the remake.
I have to connect to that. Well, you'll need to tell me about this fan server afterwards. I'll need to figure that one out.
Definitely. I'll give you the details.
Thank you.
That was so interesting because like a week ago I was playing and I got invaded 3 times and I mollywopped people. I guess maybe because people are salty about not getting the PS5.
Oh, I can imagine.
Like,
I'd be busting out my PS3 to play with you if I didn't get the PS5.
Right.
Well, you win some, you lose some. I'm gonna try to get my hands on a PS5, hopefully by next year, and then we can all have a gaming jolly cooperation. Oops, wrong game.
I'm making scraping spears. Like, hey, let's dupe the scraping spear and let's just troll people. Like, I'm sorry.
And then we're gonna be in big trouble.
Well, how would we be in big trouble? Scraping spear is not. What do you mean? It's not illegal. The game allows scraping spear to exist.
Yes, and then we're gonna be. Well, maybe we can have a little troll no fun for a bit.
To be fair though, based on how Scraping Spirit was treated in the original Demon Souls, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, the next day after we did that, like, 5 people show up and be like, hey, I saw you bullying us with the Scraping Spear. Time to get your comeuppance. I'd be like, yeah, I know.
You guys, that instance happens, and you got me, like, in the background summoning in, and I'm just like, allow me to introduce myself. Pulls out blue blood sword.
I was about to say, yeah, we does their password match? Okay, if there's password matchmaking,
there's servers. Yeah. You gotta go. There's also server settings because there's a North American server, a Europe server, Japanese, etc., etc. So if I'm gonna join you two, I'll have to go to a North American server. But even then, it'll be even more specific. West Coast.
That was relieving for me when I dug around the settings and was looking at it. I have this broken character that I can't invade anybody with, but password matchmaking makes it to where you can summon me no matter, it doesn't take into account soul level for the password summoning.
Thank God for that.
Which is good.
But my question is, do they nerf...
got something you don't want to fight.
Do they nerf your luck so, like, you're, like, trash? Or, like, are you, like...
I don't know about that. But I know that we can connect regardless of soul level. But I'm pretty sure even if it tries to nerf me down to it, something is going to go wrong, and it won't. It'll still be like broken damage.
Instead of 2 million damage, we gave him a 90% nerf, and he's still doing like thousands of damage with a 90% AR nerf.
But we'll let him do the bosses, so it's easier for us.
Oh, look, I'm not here for cheesing the game. I'm here to cheese. I'm like, look, I invaded, and then, like, if they patch out the glitch, we have one dude who's just, like, so busted. He swings once and people die. They're going to be like, you know how much hate? They'll be like, where you guys play? Like, what are you doing? You guys get good. You're trash. Like,
salties.
They're telling us just get good. It's like, I didn't see you grind out 2 million luck.
I didn't see you doing that.
Though, leading on to that, there is also one little thing we should talk about. That the fact that Bloodborne's not getting a 60 FPS patch for the PS5.
Oh yeah, no, that was frustrating, dude. Everyone was asking for that.
And a lot of people have a suspicion why.
Yeah, I do think they're going to do some sort of like remaster.
I was going to say the exact same thing, that they're going to use the opportunity. Bloodborne was a popular game. Instead of giving it a free patch, let's just basically re-release the game for hopefully for $30. But even that's a bit expensive with a patch that says 60 frames per second. Even though it's so easy to put it into the game, since Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, and Sekiro are getting it.
Which I find hilarious.
Dark Souls 2 is already at 60 FPS on the PS4, so I don't think they really need to increase that much. Sorry, go on.
One thing that I'll definitely say about Bloodborne is that realistically, like, you know, I'm not doubting the capability of the PS5 if they were to remake or remaster it, but, like, I feel like Bloodborne can't really get that much prettier. Like, I'm sorry to sound like... I
completely agree with you. Bloodborne was, like, pushing the PS4 to its very limits when it first came out. Of course. And so I feel like, yeah, it's gonna be... It looks beautiful for the time when it came. Even for an early PS4 game, it was certainly one of the better looking ones.
So I mean, sure, I guess we can, but like, my question is, like, would like Demon Souls went from, like, you know, pyramid graphic looking PS3 game to, like, whoa, look at that. Like, the jump is, like, not going to be that severe. Sure, you can make some proof, but think about it. That's the thing with Demon Souls. They made it brighter compared to the original, so you can see that quality texture better. Imagine what they would do to Bloodborne. Oh, we made the qualities much better, but we had to brighten it up because Bloodborne's so dark that you wouldn't see anything. I feel like
that is the point of dark Bloodborne. You know, it's supposed to keep you up nerve. You don't know what's going to be turning around the corner, or it's going to slice your head off or devour your face for fun.
So if we upscale the graphics and it's dark, it's not going to make too much difference.
Yeah, something nice about that, though, is although I would say that the default filter for Demon Souls Remake is it's for sure a little bit, you know, brighter than the original, just so they could like be like, hey, here's this beautiful remake we did. But with the classic filter, I think that does definitely it does a really good job of bringing it back to what it looks like originally. And then you've got just a whole list of other filters you can use, and even playing in just the default like no filter, there are areas like there's some corridors in Shrine of Storms where it goes to pitch black and I can't see anything until it does like the autofocus, like adjusting.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I feel like they did a really good job with it.
I can say this if when I play Demon's Souls, there's another remake that's coming out for the PS4, and I know what you're thinking. Why am I talking? It's basically that Demon's Souls is going to probably make my remake taste buds go a little bit up or high for the other remake that I'm actually interested in playing.
Oh.
I don't know if you know about these, but I'm curious. Do you know about Nier Automata?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the prequel game, there were actually two versions, Nier Gestalt and Nier Replicant. And basically, Gestalt was released in the West, and Replicant wasn't. Or I'm getting the two confused, because basically, one had to deal with a father protecting his daughter, the other was a pretty boy anime protagonist protecting his sister. So what they're doing is, because of the excess of automata, they're basically remaking the previous one for at this point previous generation consoles.
Oh. Definitely something to look forward to.
I think I need to actually go and beat Nier Automata before I go and consider that.
Oh, if I was gonna say this, I feel like Automata on the harder difficulties does a kind of cheap artificial difficulty. They remove your ability to lock on.
That's kind of what.
That's annoying.
Yeah, I know. It's artificial difficulty in a bad way.
Yeah, no.
Speaking of games looking forward to, outside of Elden Ring, which
Elden Ring, you can't forget.
Outside of that, God of War, the next part in the Norse mythology, like I went back and played God of War 2018 a few months ago. So I actually played it when it was on sale or free. I forgot which one I got, but I know I got it pretty cheap. And I got it, and I was playing on Give Me God of War difficulty because I'm like, I'm Dark Souls. Like, playing on Give Me God of War, I'm like, what is this? And going through that was a trip, but I definitely can't wait for the next one. Because there's a lot of if you played that one, there's a lot of setup that you're going to be fighting Thor, and I'm like, oh, okay, let's see how hard.
I haven't played it. Sadly, I haven't played God of War because I skipped it. I know I'm a horrible person for skipping God of War.
You're not horrible. I would say the tones like in God of War 1, 2, 3 Ascension, all those other ones. Like it's very like hacky slashy, kill. I'm murderous, raging Kratos, but this one's like mellow, mature, like okay, only going to get angry if I have to get angry, but otherwise I'm going to try to give the benefit of the doubt and be like calm Kratos. It's a very different experience, very somber and a very like thoughtful type of experience.
I don't know. For me, I think Kratos is someone that's just going to rip your head off if you lightly comment about how he's just a bit of the like kooky side. And he'd rip your head off for saying that.
That's original Kratos. God of War 8 2018 Kratos, like you said, he'd be like, okay, you believe that. But it's also because he has a son in that one, so like he's trying to be like a better person, like not like show his son like like just imagine like you have a little kid and you're like this dude who's a psychopath, and then like you see your son looking at you being a psychopath, and you're like, wait a minute, I need to not show my son that I like rip your head off just because you said like I looked ugly. Like, boy, let's talk about this.
Maybe if I can get the opportunity, I will buy God of War and give it a try. Maybe I will like it. Maybe I won't. My opinions might change. Who knows? I'll give it a try. I'm always willing to try new things.
And strangely enough, the combat feels like Souls. So, like that's.
I saw some gameplay. You know what was my little pun when I saw it? Mm-hmm. God of War, God Souls.
It basically, like, when I played, I was like, this feels natural to me. Like, it plays very similarly to
because everything has to be Dark Souls, doesn't it, guys? It has to be Dark Souls. Assassin's Creed, Dark Souls. Let's face it, the Assassin's Creed combat is basically dark. It's just watered down Dark Souls.
I was about to say, Code Vein.
Oh, don't get me
started
with that one.
We're not being a Dark Souls clone, but it is a Dark Souls. Like, oh my goodness, Code Vein.
Oh, then I feel like people explain that it's like a mixture between God Eater and Dark Souls, so the combat feels more weighty, feels like more on the side of it. From what I haven't played it, but from what people have told me, it's like if they took God Eater's combat and meshed Dark Souls into it, and then you got this weird hybrid of a monstrosity of a gameplay.
Yeah, that's the thing. I got God Eater 3 for my wife, and she's loving it. And looking at like how God Eater plays, yeah, I would say what you said. But I would say Code Vein weighs more on the Dark Souls. God Eater is very flowing, very dynamic. And I definitely think that Code Vein should have had more God Eater type of combat because it makes more sense for that style than like full-on Dark Souls type of thing.
Remember the nickname for it? Anime Souls.
It's basically what that is.
And then again, there is the same team. Actually, speaking of that, there is a new game that's being made by the same team who made God Eater and Code Vein. God Eater and Code Vein. I can't remember its name that well. I can't remember it.
Speaking of Dark Souls clones, has anyone played Mortal Shell?
Nope.
Oh, I picked that up, and I wasn't. See, I Mortal Shell's. I've got a funny relationship with Mortal Shell. It's. See, I remember a long time ago, a couple of years ago, when I was still going through classes for video game design. I remember I was bored one day and I was trying to look up like Souls-like games because I was like super in the swing of that, and I had found Annapurna Interactive's Ashen. That game's very good. I would recommend it. But I also found this thing called Dungeon Haven that was. It seemed really interesting. They had this cool idea where you like turn to stone for a second and then you'd go back into combat.
Mortal Shell.
Like yeah, I thought that was really cool. And then I see Mortal Shell getting all this hype and everyone's going crazy over it. And then I look at it and it's like, this is exactly like Dungeon Haven. And I haven't heard anything about that game in like 2 years. Well, did they really just rip that idea? And then I did some digging on it, and it turns out Dungeon Haven was scrapped and turned into Mortal Shell.
So okay.
The only thing that they shared was that stone mechanic. Everything else from like atmosphere and character design and world design just completely different now.
I always
like when it was. Back when it was Dungeon Haven, it looked a lot like Dark Souls. It really looked like they were trying to be a clone of it.
Everything is trying to be a clone of Dark Souls. Let's not forget that.
Yeah. But now looking at it as it is now, Mortal Shell, it is an absolutely fantastic game. And
it's distinct.
I got it on.
Let's just say
it on. Yeah, definitely. It definitely isn't trying to copy Dark Souls anymore. It's definitely its own thing at this point.
Thank God for that.
I would highly recommend it.
I will give it. I will put it on my list to play some Souls. I can't play every single Souls like that comes out. Otherwise, I'm just going to get Souls fatigue soon.
The only thing I will say about Mortal Shell, I really did like it. I beat it at least like 3 or 4 times with like each of the shells. So the thing, like, there's several things that Mortal Shell does that's very distinct, but it's also kind of like. One thing that Mortal Shell does is that while you don't really have like a character customization, you essentially borrow character archetypes. And while you can give like them like upgrades to their already existing skills, you can't really like pick the dude that's basically the assassin and make him like a buff strength dude. Like all of his skills are going to be towards those abilities.
So he's going to be he's going to be the DPS guy, the speedy DPS guy. He's fast and can deal quick damage. Not a lot, but quick damage.
Basically, like the archetypes, you can upgrade the archetypes, but only within that archetype. So you can't really like be as like free to do whatever you want. It's its own thing. It's just if people are really interested in that like Souls freedom to make whatever, Mortal Shell doesn't have that. Also, Mortal Shell is a pretty short experience overall because there's really like there's the central area and then there's like 3 different areas with like an area boss, and then once you do all that, then you fight the final boss. It's like a very like 15-hour experience for me, and outside of like the hard mechanic is actually pretty in depth. Like I actually was surprised how deep that is because basically you can use it to be like a Saito parry type of thing, or you can use it to like fall on top of people. It's I love it when you can like harden midair and just fall on somebody.
Ouch!
And just kill them that way.
But if I'm sorry, go on.
But another thing I would say is because Mortal Shell is very short, like if you really like the enemy diversity of like Souls games, Mortal Shell doesn't really have that. Like each area is gonna have like the same 3 to 5 dudes like the whole like way through. So, you know, I mean they're decent enough, and the AI is kind of hilarious with some of the crap they do. But the enemy diversity is there. There's legitimately only 4 weapons in the game. Each of the weapons have really good movesets. Don't get me wrong, but there's only 4 weapons.
Yeah,
4 weapons in the entire game.
I think if it went to a party to a Dark Souls party, it would be basically like it was inviting just having 4 strips of bacon for the buffet.
But the movesets are good. I actually like how the movesets are because they incorporate, like for example, the Ultra Great Sword and the Great Sword moveset, they incorporate real historical like techniques like murder strokes and half swording. So I actually fell in love with the movesets from
Of course you did. Of course you're gonna fall in love with it. Actually, I actually wanted to bring this up in the discussion, but I didn't know when to do it. But did you watch Demon Slayer, you two?
Are you talking about the movie or the show?
Both.
Haven't watched the movie yet, the train movie, but I've watched all the way up till the train movie.
Excellent. I gotta ask you, remember when I posted that tweet on saying that the one thing that baffled me about the series is that, when the way to permanently, let's face it, kill a demon is to just lop its head off, because the swords were designed to do that. It always baffled me. If the swords can stop a demon from regenerating for decapitation, why doesn't it, like, say, if it cuts a limb off, stop it from regenerating arms? I can never...
Because it would be broken. Imagine how many problems they could solve from just de-limbing everything.
I know, but it just kind of feels like I feel like it was a half-assed rule saying, yeah, you can kill the demon by decapitating them, but if you cut off a limb, it doesn't permanently stops them. I know it's to build tension, but at the same time, I feel like it's just coping out. It's just coping out. Oh, my nose
like I said, it's like imagine you walk up to the boss and you I stabbed you in the face with a spear. Like imagine you stab the flame lurker with a spear. Realistically, if you stab the flame lurker with the spear in the face, he would pretty much die.
I know.
Like, realistically, he would die.
I know.
But imagine if you went up to him and be like, well, it doesn't make sense that he just died from getting stabbed. So, I mean, I feel like you said, it's just for,
I know.
tension. Imagine, how, oh, look at Michael Jackson demon. Oh, we cut off his, arms. He can't do anything. We cut off his legs. He can't do anything. He's just laying there. I mean...
he was a powerful demon. You could make the argument that certain demons have, strong, thick skin or something, so it might be difficult for the sword to cut the arms. You could have written that, and that the next, but
then it makes so that's the thing though. If they went that route, then it's like, well, why can't they harden their neck and make themselves impervious to? Then you'd be like,
I guess he went with the option. Then maybe they made. Then maybe he made the option that seemed. I think the author made seem like it was the best option. That decapitating them is the way to kill them, but cutting off doesn't really stunt their regeneration. I know, but it's just a little lurchy for me. It always, when I was watching the series, thanks to a friend, it always stuck in the back of my mind that if the swords can stop them from regenerating by lopping their head off, surely it could stop them from regenerating if they cut off a limb. It always baffled me a little bit. I know I'm nitpicking, but it's something that just bothered me for a bit.
I mean, maybe if they mentioned something that it slows down, if even if it doesn't kill them, it may slow down the regeneration. I don't know if the manga says it actually does, so I don't know if I'm speaking, but if they displayed okay, even if it's a non-fatal hit, it still slows down, so they can still regenerate, but it's a substantially nerf compared to pre getting hit by that type of sword. And I guess that's more.
I would accept that. I would accept that. I will accept that if that lopping the head off slows the regeneration down long enough that it kills them. And if it cuts off the limbs, it slows down the regeneration. I will happily accept that part. But the fact that it doesn't stop the limb from regenerating, it always annoys me every time.
But then you get hit in the neck, you're like, no, I'm dead. Bye.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just had to say that. I just didn't want to put it in. I wanted to just say that for a little bit.
No, the thing that makes me mad about Demon Slayer, it's oh, look at that demon. Nobody likes him. He's all evil and stuff. Tanjiro. Actually, he has a very sad backstory. We have to feel sorry for him. Dang it, Tanjiro. Why do you make everybody seem like they're victims? You're a villain. It's like you look at the villain. Okay, he like eats children and he's like a creepy person. Oh no, he's bad demon. Actually, I was abused by like my stepdad and he made me feel bad, so I became a demon to escape the pain. I'm like, ugh, stop show. Stop making everybody
compared to the other series I've seen where the people they all have dark past, cough, Elfin cough. At least it wasn't ridiculous half of the time.
Yeah.
And if anybody thinks I'm going to review Elfen Lied on my channel, the Winter Lanterns have gotten to you, because I am not rewatching that series ever again. Ooh.
Oh, you're watching Card Captors.
I'd rather watch Card Captors 600 times than watch Elfen Lied again, and I'm being practically honest. Gloomy, if you didn't know, I'm not the biggest fan of the series.
I couldn't tell.
Sorry. It went from games to anime.
I'm sorry, my wife's making me watch Overlord now.
Hey, Overlord's a good series.
Is it finished yet? I don't know.
No, it's on. I think there's going to be another season, but I don't think they've announced it. I don't know when. I enjoyed it. It was a nice twist on the whole isekai genre of basically clueless nitwit goes to a fantasy world, he becomes the hero. I like it that it was a villain for once.
But I was like, oh, I guess I'm just going to become an evil overlord and take over and kill everybody. I'm like, it's different.
I still have I have finished reviewing 2 of the popular isekai series, ReZero, Overlord, and so I have the 2 last, Konosuba and Tanya. Those will be the last 2 I review, and I think after that, I'm not going to touch another isekai for a very long time.
Oh no, Konosuba is trip. I'm just going to say it's a trip.
Sorry, sorry, Gloomy.
No, you're good.
Yeah, sorry.
I just haven't watched a lot of these, so I don't have a lot of input.
No problem. But I can see you were a big fan of Gundam. I can see the Gundam figure in the background.
Oh, for sure. That's not the only one. That's just my best one. I have like an overtop shelf for my desk, and right above me, you should see it. It's just covered in them. I've got this RX-78 right here. I got a mini one. I got tons. I won't.
That's all right. But I'm just saying, I was tempted to review a Gundam series, but I just can't figure out to review which one. I could review
Gurren Lagann.
I can give you some good recommendations, and also don't.
Gurren Lagann.
All right. If you want me to review that, if you want me to review Gurren Lagann, go to my Discord and put it into the suggestions channel, and I'll see what I can do.
No. It's not. Look, Gurren Lagann is one of those. I'm just gonna say it's one of those shows.
What of one of those? You mean that it's beloved by anyone? That any critique of it would mean the death of the reviewer?
Oh yeah, they will absolutely come to your doorstep and destroy you if you had anything bad about it.
I'm planning on reviewing Evangelion. I'm more than prepared.
Realistically, though, for the Gundam series, if you're looking to review any of them, I know it's a very convoluted time. It's similar to Dark Souls in the sense that the whole timeline is really, really convoluted. There's a million different branches of it, and it's alternate timelines and this and that. But if there's one that I would recommend above all others, it is the Iron-Blooded Orphans series.
I've seen that.
There's only 2 seasons right now, I believe. But that's where this guy's actually from. This is the Barbatos unit.
Careful.
They have some of the best designs for the mobile suits in that particular one, in my opinion. And that's why I have more Iron-Blooded Orphan kits than any others.
Okay, it's on Crunchyroll. I'll give it a watch. I will put it on my recommendations, and I will give it a watch. And then I will make sure to credit you for giving me the idea, Gloom.
Oh, for sure.
Thank you.
It's a good watch.
All right.
I agree.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Fine,
I'll do Gurren Lagann.
No, I don't. You don't have let me tell you, Gurren Lagann. Let me just tell you, it's one of those shows where I'm not going to spoil it, but the dude you think is the main character is not the main character. It's one of those moments.
Oh, lovely. So it's one of those. I'm not going to say anything in case in case anybody's going to watch this far and then going to immediately come to my doorstep and bludgeon me to death. Because I dare criticize the. Hey, heck. There are some series I really don't like, and yet somehow people like it. One case in point, not Violet Evergarden is one series I seriously wonder how people like it.
You and me both.
What, you've watched Violet Evergarden too?
No, I've seen bits of it. I'm just interested. See, Instagram is your friend. If you want to know if it's an anime is worth watching, what you do is go to Instagram and find the anime gifs of short things. And if you generally like it, then you might want to watch the whole thing. But other than that, you find some interesting things. When I say quote unquote interesting things, you can be like, might want to skip that one.
Sorry, it's a series that it's one of those series that literally drain me mentally watching it. It's so slow-paced, and you could argue that's the point, but at the same time, you gotta find a happy middle. If it's too slow, I might as well just sleep through the whole thing. If it's too fast, I don't understand. There has to be a good middle ground, and I know a couple of series that do it fine. That it's more somber, but it's not so slow that I actually wonder if anything good's gonna happen in the next 5 seconds.
Bruh, I remember when I binge watched all of what was it? The first season of Berserk, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw the first episode, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, Griffith! I want to see how Griffith turns evil." Whole binge watch night later. Why, Griffith? Why'd you do that?
Yeah,
everybody?
I had a friend on Facebook that was like, she was playing into the whole Griffith did nothing wrong meme, and I was like, I am seriously thinking about unfriending you right now. And she's like, no, I'll stop.
Yeah. So if you're going to think that Griffith did nothing wrong by slaughtering all of his teammates and, can I say, assaulting Casca, was not doing anything wrong. Yeah.
Bruh. Griffith be like that dude if you played the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 who would just team kill the entire team. And you'd be like, why are you doing this? That's Griffith.
Now makes me wonder something that I really would really wish would happen one day.
What?
Basically, a Dark Souls Berserk crossover.
I mean,
official.
Great sword.
Official.
I was say, the best I could tell you is great sword. I'm just
I know.
That.
I know. In Dark Souls 3, you could do a Guts cosplay with basically the great ultra great sword, the Abyss Watcher's armor sets. Yeah, and a crossbow.
I'll get Gale's crossbow.
because we gotta basically have another Berserk reference in Dark Souls, don't we?
See, no, what's really funny? Another game, Dragon's Dogma, actually had full-on Berserk crossover event where they had legit the whole armor and weapons and everything from Berserk. I'm like, okay, Dragon's Dogma, you didn't have to do me like this.
I did review that for Halloween. It was one of my.
No, you reviewed the anime. The anime has nothing to do with the game. The game is.
I was doing the anime. I was talking about the anime. I was saying that I reviewed the 2016 anime. I did enjoy it, but the animation was the one that really the one that stopped me from recommending it.
Mm-hmm. I just uninstalled Dragon's Dogma because I already beat it. And I got through most of everything, but I was playing on the hardest. Let me tell you the hardest difficulty on Dragon's Dogma.
Mm-hmm.
Look, let me tell you something about games. Because I play Souls games, I automatically put everything on the hardest available difficulty. But I feel with the Souls games, at least even though they're difficult, they're balanced difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these other games, you play them right. I legitimately played Dragon's Dogma, played on the hardest difficulty, right?
Mm-hmm.
I walk outside, a literal rat. A normal-sized rat nibbles on my toe, and I just died walking outside. I'm hold up. I'm I got nibbled on my toe walking outside.
All the humiliation of a great hero dying to a simple rat bite. What, did the rat have rabies or something?
And it gets so bad because when you before you start becoming mega level, Because in that they give you increased experience and increased money, so you can buy yourself out of being that weak. But like if you walk in a cave, like and then we play like on the normal difficulty, like a bat's just like, oh look, it's a weak bat. Here, you see like one tiny little bat, and you're already running out the cave because like this thing latches on me and bites me. I'm dead.
When I did replay in Nier Automata, like I said, I did go for the second highest difficulty because the damn thing said that on the highest difficulty you lose your lock on and you die in one hit. Now I love me a good challenge, but the fact that I die in one hit feels like more like basically the screwing me around camp than the fair challenge camp, if I must be frank.
See, this is why we have Soul Level 1 runs in Souls games. Like,
yes, and frankly, those are the more... And I'm not that psychotic to try one.
Oh, they're fun.
Son.
You know what's the most hilarious thing about Soul Level 1 runs?
And what is that?
Out of all of them, so I've done them for all the games. Well, Bloodborne, the lowest level is 4. Bloodborne's one of the harder ones because you don't have too many items that you can augment to make yourself really strong. Dark Souls 3, there's so many rings that like even though you're not leveling up, there's so many rings in Dark Souls that just give you like 5 levels and like so many different things that you're basically playing at like level 50 at level 1. So Dark Souls 3 is not that bad. Dark Souls 2, let me tell you Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 is only bad until you get the equipment that increase iframes. But once you don't have that, then it's absolute maddening.
I always say they shouldn't have used ADP as a separate stat and should have given the base iframes. That's what I'm always gonna say.
Like I would have enjoyed Soul Level 1 Dark Souls 2. Like literally you just have to like, okay, what are all the things that naturally give me adaptability so I can like at least have like 2 iframes instead of like just die.
Well, not really.
Dark Souls 1, let me tell you why Dark Souls 1 is not that bad. Like, just get a pyromancy hand, upgrade it, take it to the Chaos Witch Lady, augment it, and you just basically one-shot the entire game with, like, combustion. It's dumb. Like, you just go, like, Ornstein and smoke. I didn't even, like, to put it in perspective, I didn't die on Ornstein and Smo in my Soul Level 1, because I just, like, Ornstein charged me, dodged it, he's dead. Smo, oh no, let me get electric. Oof, he's dead. It's like, why is pyromancy doesn't scale with stats, but you can max it up? And basically, if you sit there and grind like all the souls, you can max it out so it's like performing at like a max level character, but you're a Soul Level 1. Gwyn was stupid, parried him, pyromancy his face, he died. I'm like.
And Gwyn was one of those because I was horrible at parrying. I never could beat him without help. But I was able to do it because I'm a lot better at parrying these days.
Yeah, no. If you want to do a Soul Level 1 run, if you don't mind grinding the souls to upgrade to pyromancy, Dark Souls 1 is kind of thrilling just by the sheer fact that even though you're so weak, you could just like combustion or great combustion like everything, and you're like, why is it doing this much damage? And now
we have to wait for the Soul Level 1 Demon Souls runs because oh boy, they're gonna find as many exploits as they can.
Oh, let me tell you Demon Souls 1 run. So, I did Dark Souls, so I did all of them. Bloodborne, I would say, is one of the harder ones just because of just how little health you have. And I'm not going to lie, Bloodborne, I like cheese several, like Miko Lash. Like, if you don't cheese Miko Lash in the final stage with, like, Poison Darts, he just, like, he punches you and you die. And
I know. Even then, his stupid Call Beyond is one of the more annoying things.
Yeah, no, I cheesed it with a poison knife. I couldn't. The only bosses I like genuinely like did was like Gurman and a Moon Presence, but like most of the things I would cheese because I'm like freaking Miko Lash punches you and you die. You're like,
oh, how embarrassing.
But so Demon Souls is not that bad simply because when you Soul Level 1 Demon Souls, you start off as Royalty, and Royalty is the mage caster, so you just basically go pew pew, and you just trade in souls to get more pew pews, and you just wear the rings to get the FP and just pew pew everything. It's kind of dumb. It's like, oh look, flame. Like it's funny enough, I can be like at like level like 90, fight Flame Lurker, have more trouble with that than pew pew as my level 1 mage because he just can't do anything. I just like run
Flame
away.
Flame Lurkers wreak the magic. That's why when you fight Flame Lurker, make sure to get a magic weapon or put something that puts magic on your weapons.
See, this was before when I was young, and I just used like boss weapons that couldn't be buffed. So I'm like, why are these so hard? Using Scraping Spear on Flame Lurker, and it can't be buffed, and it's just weak.
Mm-hmm.
I beat Flame Lurker with a Scraping Spear, not knowing that's not supposed to do that. I was young and dumb.
Yeah, we were all young and dumb once, especially when playing the Souls series, my friend. We were all that.
I was like, maybe if I hit him enough times, I could break his hand so he won't blow me up. But I don't think Flame Lurker has durabilities on them hands.
And on that note, I think we are at the end of our podcast. I must say, that was a fun podcast, guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment as usual. Give your thoughts on this podcast. Links to my Twitter and my Discord and my Twitch are down below. I will also leave a link to the Sir Knight of... Why do I keep calling it the Sir Knight of Green channel? And Gloomy, if you've got a Twitter, send me the link, and I will leave the link down below. Especially, and your SoundCloud, so people can actually listen to your music.
Gotcha. I appreciate it.
It's only fair. This is a podcast for us to all enjoy. So yes, thank you everyone for watching, and as I always say, may the good blood guide your way.
Umbasa.
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 Why?